Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one that will keep you on edge from the very first moment to the last breath of truth revealed, a story about betrayal, power, and a twist no one saw coming. The night began like any other for Daniel Harper, a man known in the city for his charm, his wealth, and his carefully crafted image of perfection. To the outside world, he was the ideal husband, a successful businessman, and someone who had it all under control. But behind closed doors, there was a different side of Daniel, one filled with secrets he believed would never come to light. As the sun dipped below the skyline, Daniel adjusted his suit in the mirror, a faint smirk playing on his lips. He checked his phone again, rereading the message that had just come in. "I'm already here, room 502. Hurry, red heart." His heart raced, not from guilt, but from excitement. He grabbed his car keys and walked out of the house quietly, making sure not to wake his wife, Emily, or at least, that's what he thought. The drive to the hotel was smooth, the city lights reflecting off his windshield like a path guiding him toward something forbidden. He pulled up to the grand entrance of a luxurious 5-star hotel, the kind of place reserved for the elite, the kind of place where secrets could be hidden behind polished walls and soft lighting. As he stepped out of the car, the valet greeted him with respect, unaware of the storm that was about to unfold. Daniel walked confidently through the revolving doors, his mind already focused on the woman waiting for him upstairs, Sophia. Sophia wasn't just anyone. She was everything Daniel felt was missing in his life, or at least, that's what he convinced himself. She was young, vibrant, and full of admiration for him. With her, he felt powerful, desired, alive. He pressed the elevator button, watching as the numbers slowly climbed. Each second felt longer than the last. When the doors finally opened, he stepped inside and pressed 5. His reflection stared back at him in the mirrored walls, confident, composed, and completely unaware of what was waiting on the other side. Room 502. He knocked softly. The door opened almost instantly, revealing Sophia standing there with a smile that could melt even the coldest heart. She pulled him inside, laughter filling the room as the door shut behind them. "You took forever," she teased. "I wanted to make sure everything was perfect," he replied, pulling her closer. For a moment, the world outside disappeared. There was no past, no consequences, just the illusion of happiness built on lies. But fate has a way of interrupting even the most carefully planned moments. About 20 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Daniel frowned. "Did you order something?" Sophia shook her head, confused. The knock came again, louder this time. Annoyed, Daniel walked toward the door. "Probably room service mistake," he muttered. He opened it, and everything inside him froze. Standing there, dressed in an elegant suit, was Emily. His wife. But something was different. She wasn't angry. She wasn't crying. Instead, she looked calm, composed, almost powerful. And behind her stood 2 hotel staff members, waiting respectfully. Daniel's face drained of color. "Emily, what are you doing here?" She tilted her head slightly, a faint smile forming on her lips. "I should be asking you the same thing, Daniel." His mind raced, searching for an explanation, an excuse, anything. This isn't what it looks like, isn't it?" she interrupted softly, stepping inside the room without waiting for permission. Sophia stood frozen near the bed, her confidence gone in an instant. Emily's eyes moved across the room, taking in every detail. She didn't need words, the truth was already laid out before her. But then she said something that changed everything. "I didn't come here as your wife tonight," she said calmly. Daniel blinked, confused. "What?" She turned toward the staff behind her. "Please wait outside. I'll handle this personally." They nodded and stepped away, closing the door behind them. Emily walked further into the room, her heels clicking softly against the floor. She looked at Daniel, then at Sophia, and then back at him. "I came here as the new owner of this hotel." Silenced. The kind of silence that feels heavier than words. Daniel stared at her, unable to process what he had just heard. "The what?" Emily's smile widened slightly. "The new owner. I finalized the acquisition this morning." His legs felt weak. That's impossible. "This hotel belonged to someone else," she corrected. "Not anymore." Sophia slowly stepped back, realizing she was caught in something far bigger than she had imagined. Daniel shook his head, trying to regain control. "Why didn't you tell me?" Emily let out a quiet laugh. "Because you stopped asking about my life a long time ago." Her words hit harder than any accusation. She walked closer to him, her eyes locking onto his. "You were too busy creating a new one behind my back." Daniel opened his mouth to speak, but nothing came out. For years, he had underestimated her, seen her as someone who depended on him, someone who would never stand on her own. But now, standing in front of him, she looked like a completely different person. Stronger, untouchable. "Do you know what the most interesting part is?" she continued. "I almost didn't come tonight. I had meetings, paperwork, 100 reasons to stay away. But something told me I should visit." She glanced around the room again. "And now I see why." Sophia finally spoke, her voice trembling. I didn't know he was married." Emily looked at her, studying her for a moment. "That's not your fault. He's very good at hiding the truth." Daniel quickly turned to Sophia. "Don't listen to..." "Stop," Emily said firmly. Her tone wasn't loud, but it carried authority, the kind that demanded silence. And Daniel obeyed. For the first time in a long time, he felt powerless. "This hotel represents something important to me," Emily said. "It's not just a business. It's a symbol of everything I've built on my own." She took a step closer to him. "And tonight, you decided to bring your lies into it." Daniel's voice cracked. "Emily, please, we can talk about this." "We are talking," she replied calmly. He ran his hands through his hair, desperation creeping into his voice. "I made a mistake." She shook her head slowly. "A mistake is something that happens once. This is a choice." Each word felt like a nail sealing the truth in place. Sophia quietly grabbed her bag, realizing it was time to leave. "I'm sorry," she whispered again before heading toward the door. Emily didn't stop her. Once the door closed, the room felt even heavier. It was just the two of them now. No distractions. No illusions. Just reality. Daniel looked at her, his eyes filled with regret. "What are you going to do?" Emily paused for a moment, as if considering the question carefully. Then she answered, "I'm going to do what I should have done a long time ago." His heart sank. "Which is?" She met his gaze, unwavering. "Choose myself." Those two words carried more weight than anything else she had said. For years, she had chosen him, supported him, trusted him. And this is what it led to. But not anymore. She turned toward the door, then stopped. "By the way," she added, her voice calm but firm, "your access to all joint accounts has been revoked. I suggest you start thinking about your next move, because your old life is no longer available to you." Daniel felt like the ground had disappeared beneath him. Everything he thought was secure, gone in an instant. "Emily, wait." But she didn't. She walked out of the room without looking back. And just like that, it was over. The illusion shattered. The power shifted. And for the first time in his life, Daniel was left to face the consequences of his own choices. As the door clicked shut, he stood there in silence, the weight of everything crashing down on him. Because sometimes, the biggest shock isn't getting caught. It's realizing the person you underestimated was the one holding all the power all along. And that's where this story leaves us tonight. A reminder that actions always have consequences, and the truth, no matter how deeply buried, always finds a way to rise to the surface. If this story kept you hooked, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments, because sometimes, the most unexpected twists come from the people we think we know best.